particular person for the answers, and they're just the mouthpiece. But we forget that because we can see the leader.
We nowadays say we punish the messenger.
Yeah, don't shoot the messenger. Yes, Dottie.
And I think we have to remember that Moses is described as being the most humble man of all. What he did here was not to take the glory from God, but I don't believe that was the motive of his heart at all. But he took the responsibility of these people, you know, and what they were doing wrong, and he got very frustrated because he was trying to do it in the flesh. And so, you know, what the people do is not our responsibility. Our responsibility is to tell them to do what God said to do. If somebody rejects the gospel, then that isn't our responsibility. You know, it's his.
If they reject our message, they haven't rejected us.
Right.
And our job is to keep
Right.
giving the
Moses
message.
took it personally.
Yeah.
And that's
Good
what
point.
God did.
Those that took the person. Good point.
Yeah.
Yes, Wade.
And, you know, just kind of piggybacking on that, you know, one of the things that we see throughout these last few Torah portions is if you kind of compare the way that Moshe talks with God, it's very similar to the way that Yeshua speaks with God throughout the Gospel of John,
Yes.
right? There's a lot of similarities there. There's like this one-on-one communication. And just as Yeshua was acting as an intercessor and a Savior and Messiah for that entire generation of people, you know, so too was Moses, I think at this point, acting as the intercessor for this group of people. But the difference being is that unlike Yeshua, Moshe did not exactly, Moshe obviously made a mistake. He could not yield his pleasure, desire, which came out of a sincere desire to know.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
just, you know, so he struck the rock twice instead of speaking to it. And every time when Yeshua actually had to put up with similar situations, one of the first things that he did was that he lifted his eyes to heaven and prayed. And then he acted. So,
Good point. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Would you repeat kind of what he was saying?
Let's see if I can sum it up. Moses acting out of a sincere desire to help the people. I don't know if I can sum it up.
basically, just that he acted impatiently.
He acted impatiently, which is a good thing we never do. Right? Especially as leaders, we never get impatient. Right? Thank you, Wade.
We're in that fast food mentality.
We are in that fast food microwave mentality. Give it to me now. Right now. Anybody ever, because I know I've done it a bunch, you're like heating something up for 30 seconds in the microwave and you stop it at 25? Why do we do that? Why do I do that? I don't know. Okay. So we're going to kind of cook on through here a little bit and then get to some more stuff. All right, the end of chapter 20, the death of Aaron. I don't think I put that on anything up here. Nope, I sure didn't. Chapter 20, verse 28, when kind of most of Aaron's garments are transferred to Eleazar. Aaron died there on top of the mountain, and then Moses and Eleazar came down from the mountain. And when the whole community learned that Aaron had died, the entire house mourned for 30 days. If you go over to chapter 33, verse 38, you'll see Aaron died in the first day of the 5th month of the 40th year. So that kind of sets this particular time when Aaron died. So we can back up and speculate on when Miriam died and things like that. But this is something that we have solid out of Numbers 33 is the death of Aaron. So just an aside.
Also, Aaron was not allowed to apply the ashes because he was the one that created the
The golden
golden
calf.
calf.
That makes perfect sense.
Awesome. No, Aaron couldn't do, no, never mind.
Do I sense a debate? Good, we won't go there.
Phil,
Yes,
the one thing that we were talking about last time when we were reading this is about Miriam. They didn't show that they mourned for her. The people started complaining right after she died.
that's what we get, yeah. She died, they complained about food.
She was just a woman.
She was just a woman, yeah. I mean, that's the kind of indication we get, so. Okay, chapter 21, just, this again, kind of a quick hit, because there can be, days and weeks of study on this, I'm sure. So again, chapter 21, verse 5, here we go again, same psalm, 87th verse, or however long it is. Why have you brought us out of Egypt to die in the desert? There's no bread, no food, no water. We loathe this worthless food. God said, okay, how about some fiery serpents instead?
There's no food, no water. We loathe this worthless food.
They called the manna worthless.
They called the manna worthless food. Yeah,
Talk about biting the hand that feeds you.
which, when you read that, you kind of understand God wasn't happy. He gave it to them freely,
Every day.
the bread of life, sustained them every single day. And what did they do?
They did it.
Complain.
It's worthless. Wah, wah. Good thing we never complained. So, then the Lord sent fiery serpents and they bit the people, so that many people of Israel died. And it's the fiery is, I did a little study on this one time, and as in the venom, burning, that kind of a thought. Yes, Jay?
The thing that kind of stands out to me many times is that we're tried in different problems that we encounter. Are we going to sit and grumble about it? Or are we going to have the faith to withstand it, to go through it? This is what they did for Sabbath. They'd run out to get,
Worthless food.
here they are, they were up to the Red Sea. All the things, but yet they can be delivered if you will trust and submit to God.
Exactly.
But the more that you seem to complain, it seems like
You get some difficulty in life,
yeah.
just a little bit. So many people died. And they came to Moses and said, we have sinned, for we have spoken against the Lord and against you. Pray to the Lord that he will take away the serpents from us. So Moses did. And God took the serpents away. Right? No, he didn't. What happened?
He built the brass serpent.
He built the brass serpent. He doesn't say, okay, I'll take the serpents away. He says, when someone is bitten and looks upon the brass serpent, he'll live. He doesn't say when he's bitten, he'll live. Right? Because there's that little piece right there. And everyone who is bitten, which means they will be bitten, when they look upon it, when they see it, the bronze serpent, they would live.
Which
They would
means
look upon the bronze serpent and live.
They also have to look towards Moses, right? Isn't he the one holding it up or something like that at some point?
No.
I mean, there's only one thing he makes, right? It's not
Yes, I
like,
believe there's only one. We don't get any indication that there's a whole
Right.
bunch. They got them all around the camp.
right.
Yes, wait.
You want to be on the end of the camp.
You got to stand up on a rock and see it. There it is. I'm good.
So, if we look at actually look at the Hebrew in this chapter, it's actually pretty cool. Because it does tell us that yes, there was a copper serpent that was made, but that in certain instances actually, our translations actually supply the word serpent, and it actually uses the word saraf, which is burning one, which is a type of angel.
Yeah.
Right? And it says they placed it upon a pole. and they use the word.
How does
next.
it
Right.
get the message?
Yeah, yeah, I'm talking here, I should be talking here.
Handing the mic.
I can do that too.
Well, then he may never give it back.
No, trust me, I am not,
That'll help.
I am not a mic person. You guys hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
The Hebrew itself, actually, in this chapter, if you look at it, it says, there are certain instances where the translator actually supplies the word serpent. And they did make a serpent, but it actually uses the word seraphim or seraph, which is a type of angel, actually, a burning one, right? And it says they placed it upon a pole. And the Hebrew word they use there is nes, which is also, can also be used to mean miracle. They placed that pole, they placed that burning one, that seraph, on some sort of miracle.
What
And whoever
verse?
looked at it will live.
What verse?
21:6.
6 or 9?
Hang on, let me find it.
Says-
That's gonna be 9.
Sorry, yeah, 21.
Because in 9, it does say serpent, and because
Six.
serpent and copper have the same root, right?
Right. But, so in 6, where did I go here? It says, and God sent in the people, to the people, the serpents, the burning ones,
Right, yeah.
and they bit the people, and a great multitude of the people died.
It still says serpent.
Right, it does. But, here's, you could also read that though, as Ba'am, if, wait a minute. Et, Kanahashim, Behosarfim.
Right.
Right. So you could actually say that there could have been snakes and burning ones, seraphim there in the camp. Not just one or the other, but possibly also both.
Yeah.
And when they placed that snake, or that serpent on the pole, it actually uses the word, and I'm almost finished, I apologize. I'll let you get back, I promise, sorry. And it says, and they placed the serpent on a pole, but that's also the same word for miracles. That's very, very interesting. Placed it upon a miracle.
Yeah,
Interesting.
that is, that's good.
Thank you, Wade.
Also, they didn't destroy that serpent they put on a pole, or serpent, whatever it was, until Hezekiah's day, because they were starting to worship it.
I can see that for sure. Yes, Rudy?
So could it be that God went ahead and let these people go their evil ways, because that's what a fire serpent is it's Satan, and then allowed that, and it said, but look unto me, and ye shall be saved. You should be given life. And that's what I see it. Not don't look at that bronze or brass snake, look up on me. That's what God said, trust in him. Don't trust on that idol stick.
Which that goes to what Fred's talking about, because later on down the road, they did.
Represented Yeshua.
Yeah.
Right. Because God will let you do what you want to do. Because, hey, go for it.
We have free will.
Right?
We have choice, which we're going to get to coming up pretty quick, as a matter of fact. All right. So, chapter 22. This is, again, is next week's portion, so whoever's teaching next week, this is going to be a little precursor to that, because we're jumping off to something here. For the first about, I don't know, 6 or 7 years of kind of walking in Hebrew roots, trying to figure out how the Old Testament ties to the New, trying to understand things. This chapter I never could figure out what was going on, what the problem was. Because when I read it with kind of veiled eyes, and it's like Balaam did everything that God said. God said, go, he went. God said, don't speak, he didn't speak. God said, speak, he spoke. And I always had a really hard time with it until this week, it finally hit me. What's going on? And it's because God's working on me with this decisions and choices thing all week long. So, and something I never noticed, but I know has always been there, in verse 7, what are they bringing to Balaam? Money. So Balaam's known as bring him money, he'll do whatever he does, his divination. And again, I knew that was there, but never saw it, never really clicked, until this week, going through this again. Because, Balak's worried about all these people. That sounds like somebody from the past, doesn't it? Worried about all the people. Hint, hint. Pharaoh was worried about the people. And Pharaoh had magicians come in and try to... Anyway, moving on. No reaction from the crowd at all. Okay, so God said to Balaam, "You shall not go with them, you shall not curse the people, for they are blessed." This is the instruction, this is what you can do, which is nothing, because you can't, no matter how good you are at divination, you can't defeat me. These people are blessed, period. End of discussion. End, exclamation mark, wrap it up, tie it up, we're done. Except, we're not done, are we? We get down to verse 13. Balaam got up and said to Balak's princes, "Go back to your own country, for the Lord has refused to let me go." The Lord has refused to let me go. Not, I'm going to obey and not go. Daddy's not letting me come out and play. Think about it that way. He won't let me go, so sorry, can't go. Never hit me till this week. Apparently he wanted to go because, he kind of likes the money.
Yeah, he showed
He's
his part
like a lot of us.
from the beginning.
From the beginning, which it never dawned on me until this week that I finally got my mind wrapped around this a little bit. So, Daddy won't let me go. So they go back. He won't come.
I'm not really sure he says that.
And what does Balak say in verse, where are we, about 17? "Because I will reward you handsomely and do whatever you say. Come, put a curse on these people." Verse 18. "But Balaam answered and said to the servants of Balak, 'No, God said don't go.'" Wait, that's not what he said, is it? "Though Balak were to give me his house full of silver and gold, I could not go beyond the command of the Lord my God to do less or more." Sounds really good, and that's where it messed with my head for so many years. Yes, Jay?
Balaam's saying that is this God.
Mm-hmm. Balaam's saying that is his God. This stuff right there. If you remember the story of Abraham buying the field, how many shekels? 300 shekels between friends? Whatever it was, 600? I can't remember the number all of a sudden right now. 400. I didn't get there eventually. What's 400 shekels between friends? Here's 400. Yeah. Oh, if you give me all the silver and gold, I still couldn't do it. Hint, hint, wink, wink. Give me your silver and gold and I'll come anyway. Okay. So instead of saying no, God said no, I'm not going. He says, well, Daddy didn't let me go. But pray now and tarry here this night also, that I may know what more the Lord will say to me. What is Balaam looking for?
People need to go.
What's he looking for?
I think it's very, very important that the fact that he had already, when they came to him to make the offer, they brought funds. He said, "Here, come in my house.
Yeah.
Welcome. Let's figure out a way to make this happen."
Exactly.
And then here again, for the second time, he says, "Hey, stay the night too."
Yeah. Yeah,
I'm
come
making
on
it-
in.
yeah,
We're gonna
I'm on your
make.
team. We'll figure this out.
We'll get this deal done.
Yeah.
They're making a pitch and he's making a pitch back. They're negotiating. Yes, Dottie.
I think there's a word picture here for our flesh too.
Ooh,
Because,
yeah.
because, the flesh wants to do something and you have a temptation and then you think about it and you dwell on it and you invite it in for a while. Where
Yeah.
the Bible says you're supposed to crucify the flesh.
Yes,
Like Halisa Alwine always says, we put the flesh in jail for a little while and then we go visit it every day. And then we bail it out every now and then.
Instead of resisting, and it will flee from it.
Exactly. Instead of resisting it, he's inviting it in. Yes,
Right.
thank you, Burley. That's awesome. Yeah, come on in. All right, so
Stay overnight.
stay overnight that I may know what more the Lord will say to me.
He's hoping the
Isn't
Lord
that-
change his mind.
He's hoping to change his mind. He doesn't like this answer.
Sounds
You
like
shall
our
not go.
Children.
He's looking for another option. He's looking for something else. What more will the Lord say to me? He's looking for choices. Which brings us to what I want to talk about this week.
Honey, before you go there,
Yes.
you know, God says to Balaam, you shall not go to them, you shall not curse them, for they are blessed. He's specifically saying, he said, I've blessed these people, and no one can curse them. No one. The
No one.
enemy, not even the enemy can curse those that I have blessed.
Ooh, yeah.
So, if we are blessed, yet we are experiencing problems, curses, we need to change our thinking, because we're so, oh, the enemy is attacking me. Well, God said, I blessed you.
Yeah.
You cannot curse what I have blessed. So if we're blessed and we're experiencing problems, we've either invited the enemy in, or God is the one who's putting those curses in our lives. And we need to change our thinking on that.
Amen. Thank you. Here,
Yeah, I think there's another.
keep going.
I think there's another really strong contrast that we need to look at, because as God made all the statements to the people, and he said, do this and you'll be blessed, and don't do it and you'll be cursed. We're just got through reading all of this complaining, and all of this, so now God's still saying they're blessed. So there's blessings that are put on them, read this, in spite of their cantankerous hearts.
They've got a blessing of a land that is guaranteed to them forever.
Correct.
Forever.
Well, the example like what you're talking about, they are blessed, but they're getting bit by serpents. So, and God sent them. So, it's kind of like what you're saying.
Yeah.
It's
It's-
that's exactly what's going on. They're
The
blessed,
mindset.
but they're getting bit.
Yes, wait.
And I mean, honestly, the gospel itself has been present since day one.
Yep.
And the chief message of the gospel was what? In one sentence. Repent, the kingdom of God is at hand. And if there's something, and I'm speaking to myself right now, repentance is absolutely everything. If there's one thing in our lives, ultimately, there's two reasons why we suffer. You know, the Bible teaches us, in a roundabout way, there's two reasons we suffer. Because we become something that's deserving of punishment, or if you're a righteous person, if you're the Messiah who was perfect, sat at the right hand of God, and then came into the earth, suffered horribly, and yet he was perfect. We either suffer because of something you've done, or we suffer to get atonement for others. You know, so
Those
those,
achieve God's purpose.
right, those are the two main reasons why we suffer. And, you know, there was a sin here, and repentance was not being sought out.
Yeah.
And so punishment was.
There are consequences for your actions.
And that goes for everyone.
Period. Yeah.
There's an inspired postcard in the New Testament called Jude, a little short one. Verse 11. Woe unto them that have gone their way of Cain and ran greedily after the error of Balaam for reward, and perish in the gainslaying of Korah.
So it says right there, for reward.
For reward. Yeah, that's what he's looking for here.
Prosperity gospel.
Ooh.
Look out, look out.
Cut the tape, cut the tape.
Yes,
Rewind.
Jimbo.
You know, when you're talking about cursing and blessing, the thing that comes up for me too is that when you look at Ham, how even God didn't curse Ham for what he did. He cursed his next generation because he had blessed Noah and his family.
That's right.
Even God doesn't take back his blessing.
God doesn't take back his
Once he
blessing.
blesses them, it's there.
Which is why the people of Israel have the promised land forever.
Right.
God gave it, he will not take it away. Period.
He doesn't change.
He doesn't change. Okay.
His eye is always on us.
And us.
All of Israel.
All right. We're gonna move on here because we got something else I want to go over. We talked about words from last week: create or destroy, bless or curse, and we're seeing some decisions and some words here in these last couple of chapters we've been looking at, where they're, not making the best decisions. Even though they're blessed, they're being cursed. Moses didn't create like he was supposed to. Didn't speak like he was supposed to. Okay. Decisions, chocolate, vanilla, or strawberry.
How about all three?
You have to pick one. Chocolate,
Chocolate.
chocolate, strawberry, vanilla.
You can't pick 'em all.
I'm just demonstrating how to raise your hand. It's audience participation. You know, Alan says this is a universal sign for yes, so you know. All right, you got your choices made?
Yes.
Chocolate, vanilla, or strawberry? Pretty easy, right? Okay. Who wants maple walnut, raspberry, or cinnamon trail, or buttery pecan, or cookie dough, or chocolate square, or my mocha, or et cetera, et cetera, et cetera?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, okay. So you gotta come here and pick one of these now. So we've gone from this, we got something kind of simple, to something a little more difficult. Now we have to read. These aren't pictures. We don't have like these ice creams
Meteor
laid out.
shower, I like, what is that?
What's that?
Meteor shower, that sounds.
Meteor shower. I can't quite read it. White chocolate, something, something, something.
Right.
So,
Bacon ice cream it?
hey, it says screameth. It has to be scriptural, right? It's King James. Okay.
King James ice cream.
How about that instead?
Oh, my goodness.
King James.
You see your favorite?
Yeah.
How many have more than one favorite?
Yes, thank
So
you.
we got our Rocky Road over here. We got
Top
our mint
left,
chocolate
yes,
chip.
that, oh, that looks good.
We got that is raspberry. We got a swirl.
What's the blue and white?
We got that's probably a
Blueberry.
sherbet, blueberry, raspberry sherbet or something like that. Now, how many of you would, if you go to Baskin Robbins, which is what this picture is from, would get when you can get 2 scoops? How many of you get 2 different scoops? I mean, come on, admit it. You can get 2 different ones,
One
right?
time they had, it's called the 4x4, Burley had 4 scoops with 4 different toppings. It's like 8 flavors.
Go Burley, yeah.
And he ate it all.
And was miserable for a week, probably.
Phil, there's no vanilla, no strawberry.
There's vanilla mixed in with some of these.
I'm fussing.
How's that? Here's your vanilla and strawberry. Yeah, exactly. He's fussing. There's no vanilla and strawberry over here. But man, if you
Oh,
pick,
yeah, he's murmuring.
what if you pick this white chocolate raspberry macadamia right here? And then went, ooh, oh wait a minute, that swirl looks really good.
I don't want my vanilla touching the strawberry.
But what? I can have mint chocolate chip instead.
Can't have Rocky Road anymore because the marshmallows.
Yeah.
The good old days.
Point is, when we're here, it's pretty easy, right?
Life is easier, right?
We got simple choices. We got chocolate, vanilla, and strawberry.
It's kind of like trying to eat clean and unclean nowadays.
Kind of like.
I mean, who knew they put shrimp in cream of celery soup? You have to read the stinking label.
No, don't go there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. The impetus for this came from the Father, but it came through, many of you know my new favorite show on National Geographic Channel's Brain Games.
Right.
They had this kind of a scenario on there, which is where I got the idea from. In fact, they may have had this actual picture. They said, you can go to an ice cream store that has 3 flavors, or you can go to one that has 31 flavors. What are you going to choose? 31. 31. All right, cool. And they said, okay, pick one here. It was easy. Chocolate, vanilla, strawberry. Bam, hands went up, right? Pick one here.
Stand there and read it.
You got to stand there and read it all day. You got to figure out what it is. Oh, can I get a taste of that, a taste of that, a taste of that?
And by the time you
You
taste
always
them all,
say-
By the time you taste them all and pick something, you realize you missed out on something else. And, oh, maybe I should have had that. I'll get that next time. Okay. So immediately while we're watching this, I'm thinking spiritual application, bing, huge. Went off in my head, decisions, that kind of thing. Which one are you going to choose?
Yeshua.
That's easy. Why? I've said before you life and death, blessing and cursing. Therefore, choose life, that both you and your descendants may live. You got a choice, life or death, blessing or cursing. Which, speaking of the lips last week,